What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new StarCraft 2 video. This one was played at the IEM in Katowice and was in the round of 8 of that tournament, spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Cyber Forest LE, playing with the red Protoss pieces, very well known in the StarCraft 2 pro scene. His name is herO. And his opponent spawning in the cross position, playing with the blue Protoss pieces, we have none other than Deer. So, guys and girls, as I said, this is a best of 5 series that was played at the IEM in Katowice and was within the round of 8 of that tournament, which of course is the quarterfinals of the tournament. And so all these games do matter in the grand scope of things. And when we talk about PvP, what an intense matchup this one tends to be, especially when you talk about the later stages of the game. It generally becomes a very exciting one to watch and just see it, you know, because it's a massive chess match of sorts between Protoss players. And so it should be interesting, to say the least, what both these players decide to do here in the early stages of the game. It looks like we are going to get a double gateway opener out of Deer, and on the opposite side of the map it looks like the exact same can be said for herO. So it generally starts with a double gateways into the cybernetics core, and you'll see at the top left hand of the production tab, you'll notice that the production, you know, as far as the build order is concerned, a lot of times it will be very similar in the early stages of the game when it comes to the PvP matchup. So herO, guys, he's a very fun Protoss player to watch. I really do enjoy watching herO quite a bit, and his opponent with Deer, you know, Deer, he's a lot of fun to watch as well. The thing is I feel that Deer gets a little bit overshadowed by players, you know, like of the likes of Stats or Showtime, but he is still an absolute force to be reckoned with the Protoss pieces, and we're going to see what he decides to do. He's going up against a very good opponent in herO, though, so that should make this very interesting. And so we're starting to see a little bit of a change up in the build order. It looks like herO's going to go for that Stargate, whereas on the opposite side of the map, we're going to see Deer. He's going to go ahead and get that Warp Gate research, which as well as, you know, herO's doing the same. But we're going to see Stalker is going to be coming out as well. It looked like the Sentry must have gotten canceled. Or no, it did not. The Sentry is still out. So there was a Sentry as well as a Stalker out of Deer's gateways. So it does look like we are going to see double Adepts moving towards Deer's side of the map. We are going to see the natural Nexus go down for herO. In early stages so far, nothing terribly out of the ordinary. Little bit of some differences in build orders, but both players playing a pretty standard macro-focused game, at least in the early stages here. See 2 more Stalkers coming out for Deer. We're going to see a Phoenix coming out of the Stargate, and that's going to be followed up with more and more of these Phoenixes. So I like that decision-making, though. Deer is going to scout that there are Phoenixes now out on the map. So that was a nice scout for him. Warp Gate's going to be finishing up in less than 5 seconds for Deer. And so now it looks like, you know, herO wants to have the edge of, you know, kind of being the eye in the sky, and so to speak, and seeing exactly what's going on the opposite side of the map, because of course the Phoenixes are incredible when it comes to scouting information, seeing exactly what the opponent is doing. We are going to see the robotics facility, which herO is going to scout. The robotics facility is also going up for herO as well. So now we're starting to see kind of what both players are kind of deciding to do as we just now pass that 4-minute mark in the game. And we are going to see now the follow-up for herO is going to be none other than the Immortals out of the robotics facility. Looks like a Forge is being followed up now for Deer, so it looks like he's going to probably be going for those +1 upgrades here shortly for these ground-based units, as it looks like he's more so getting ground-based units than anything. So I like the way that this match is starting to kind of shape up here as we pass that 4.5-minute mark. We're going to see an Observer coming out of the robotics facility for Deer as well. So, like I said, this is a very interesting matchup. You know, when we talk about PvP, as I said, it's you know, every game of StarCraft 2 is like a massive, you know, chess match, right? It's all about how you react to what your opponent's doing, and, you know, kind of going with or kind of changing your build order depending on what the opponent's doing. So it should be interesting. We are going to see those +1 upgrades started for Deer out of the Forge, and then we're going to see the War Prism coming out for Hero. I wonder if Hero's planning a little bit of, getting aggressive here with a couple of these Immortals, some Immortal drops. We are going to see the Twilight Council being followed up here. The same can be said for Deer. Now, these Phoenixes are kind of all over the map right now. It does look like we are going to see that War Prism is going to be moving out now for Hero. It's going to be loaded with 2 Immortals, and we're going to have to kind of keep tabs on that as the 3rd Nexus is going down now for Deer. So, very interesting. This should get interesting extremely quickly, I would say. There are a lot of Stalkers and some Sentries out as well. I feel like Deer's in a pretty good position as he's getting more and more gateways, 4 to be exact. 5 are coming in, though, at the opposite side of the map for Hero. You can just kind of tell that both these players kind of, they know each other. They of course, know each other's the builds that these players really tend to go for. And it does look like these Immortals are going to start trying to do a little bit of damage, and there's some beautiful pickups on those Zealots as these Immortals are trying to do a little bit of some damage. Beautiful play here so far by Hero. We are going to see more and more gateways being added on. But both these players, they of course, as I said, know each other. They watch each other's VODs before. They go through those replay packs and see what the other is accustomed to doing, when it comes to the PvP matchup. And they play each other many times, whether it's just in, just practices or, qualifiers, whatever it might be. These players kind of have a feel for one another. They just did, and that's what makes this such an interesting, StarCraft 2 such an interesting matchup. As we are seeing across the map, a lot of Adepts and some Sentries are going to be coming in. It looks like Hero wants to take an early edge in this series as he's moving across the map. Is there going to be enough here for Deer? I don't know. There is a massive warping coming in. There are a lot of Adepts. They're going to start shading up that ramp. Here we go. Those Immortals are going to be a lot of value as well, as those Adepts are going to move into the main base location. Hero is hitting in 2 bases at once. There are going to be, of course, Archons out at this point, but there's a lot of damage being dealt in the main base location. If he can take out a lot of these tech structures, that would be huge for Hero. Man, these Adepts, actually, the defense has been okay so far, though, for Deer. Is there a little bit of an overextension as once again the shading comes into the main base location? It looks like he is going to target fire down this pylon, which is powering so many of these tech structures. That is going to delay our Protoss player in blue quite a bit. Wow, it does look like once again we are going to see Hero now is going to fully commit, it looks like, as he is continuing the aggression in the main base location. The damage is being dealt right now, and wow, beautiful micro here by Hero. Deer's doing a pretty good job on the defensive side, but I just wonder if there's just a little bit too much of Hero here. GG is called, and Hero takes a quick 1-0 lead over his opponent. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between Hero and Deer, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in game number 2. Alrighty everyone, well, game number 2 in this best of 5 series finds us on Automaton LE, spawning here on the right hand side of the map, playing with the red Protoss pieces. He's currently up in this series and wants to keep it rolling in his favor. His name is herO. In his opponent, spawning on the left hand side of the map, playing with the blue Protoss pieces. He's currently down, but certainly not out of this game or series just yet. His name is Deer. So guys and girls, game number 2 in this best of 5 series that was played at the IEM in Katowice and was one of the quarterfinal games of that tournament. These two players, I gotta say, game number 1 was pretty awesome. Seeing as how, herO was able to, continue the aggression. He was kind of uncertain whether he wanted to go all in on an all-out assault, but I think he played it very smart with splitting up his army. And Deer played pretty good defense overall, but it just was a matter of time until herO was able to regroup and warp in more and more units and overwhelm his opponent in game number 1. Should be interesting now. How does Deer respond to this? Is he going to play a standard game like he did in game number 1, or is he going to be, you know, maybe go for a little bit some cheese, or, you know, does he feel that he had an opportunity there in game number 1 and wants to kind of go with something similar to what he did in the first game? We're going to find out here as we see Deer going for the double gateways into the cybernetics core. The exact same can be said for herO. So both players going for very similar builds. You can look at that top left-hand corner of the production tab. You can see that both players going for very similar, identical build orders at this point in the game. And that's generally speaking what happens in the early stages of the game, and then as time goes, you'll see those build orders change as players start to decide what tech structures they want to construct and which units they want to use to create their army composition. So we are going to see double adepts coming out of Deer, as on the opposite side we're going to see double stalkers coming out of herO. Both players going for that warp gate research, which is the most standard upgrade for a Protoss player. Now, one thing that we do want to keep track of is Deer is going for a Twilight Council, and it does not look like herO has scouted this. He has no idea that there is a Twilight Council down here, so I like this. Oh my. Okay, it does look like he wants to see if something is out of the ordinary here. herO must have a feeling that something's up. So we are going to see, of course, a robotics facility is coming in now for herO, but we're going to have to keep track of this Twilight Council, because this is where it's going to get really interesting. We are going to see that Stalker is going to be chasing down that probe and is going to take out the probe at this point. Now, these two adepts, though, they're going to try what looks to be, they want to maybe try to snipe one of these Stalkers. Does not look like they are going to be able to get that. But that being said, the adepts are going to shade in to see if they can get any kinds of scouting information. They are going to, of course, it looks like they are going to commit here. Very interesting decision-making by Deer. I don't know if I like that decision really at all. But it does look like he was able to get a couple of probes, 1 or 2 to be exact. But the warp gate is going to be finished up in less than 10 seconds for both players. And, you know, we're now going to see a warp prism coming out of the robotics facility for herO. So it does look like a pylon's going to be constructed for herO. And it looks like he might very well find this Twilight Council. If he finds this, man, what? Okay, it does not look like he is. He's not going to see it as of yet. This Twilight Council is just hanging out as Deer is constructing more and more gateways as well as shield batteries. I wonder if he's preparing for if there's going to be somewhat of an attack. More and more adepts are being added into the mix here. And it looks like there is going to be a warp in. So Resonating Glaives is going to be finishing up in less than 10 seconds for Deer. This is very interesting. This is going to get interesting very quickly. Now, we are going to see an Immortal coming in now for herO, and I like that decision-making a lot, as we are going to start seeing some units are going to start moving in to that main base location. herO is going to see that there is not much there, but we are going to see, once again, the shade-in with of course, the Adepts, and I just don't know if there's enough here. The beautiful trap by herO, absolutely beautiful, as they are going to get all of those adepts. Absolutely brilliant play. And so now you kind of are wondering, what is Deer going to do at this point? He's really trying to get an advantage, but it's just not happening right now. Surprisingly, it just is not happening, and herO's playing incredible defense so far, so that's really well done by him. But you gotta, generally speaking, really good defense translates to good offense, simply because if you play your defense well, the supply, you can really help like plummet the supply of your opponent, and then you can just kind of overwhelm them in the later stages of the game, or you can just counterattack essentially. So should be interesting though. Deer does spot this pylon in the middle of the playing field. And this Twilight Council is still just kind of hanging out at this point, as that robotics facility does finish up. And both players still on one Nexus. This is very interesting in this game as we are approaching that 6-minute mark. These Adepts are trying to figure out if they can see if there's anything strange going on the opposite side of the map. Does not look like they have really seen much of anything yet, but it looks like they are probably going to get trapped once again by none other than herO. herO is absolutely playing out of his mind right now on the defensive end. Very well done, and it looks like he's got a pretty nice sized army. that is starting to move out, and I like the decision to potentially start moving out towards the upside of the map. It looks like herO feels that he can take this army. At least it looks as if he can at this point. Now the thing is though, is there going to be a little bit of an overextension? Of course, Deer does have the high ground, and all these units are starting to move in. As we are going to see those adepts, they're going to cancel the shade in, but we are going to see stalkers, adepts, and some immortals are moving down across the map. It looks like they are going to start moving up that map. They want to see exactly what's going on. We are going to see, of course, the force field is going to come in. These units are going to start targeting down the warp gate. Can they get it? It looks like they are going to be able to get it, at least at this point. It looks like those adepts are going to possibly shade in. I don't think that they are. They are not going to do that, but more and more immortals are being added on now to the mix. Gotta say, herO skins on these Protoss units are pretty sick. I really do like those skins from the war chest. You guys definitely have got to check out the next war chest when it comes out. But that said, here we go. Looks like Deer is trying to go on the aggression a little bit. It looks like they are going to try to do a little bit of some damage to some of these stalkers. Might be able to get, yep, they do get one stalker, but at the same time there is going to be two immortals that are down. And some nice play there by herO, taking out at least one of those pylons and supply blocking his opponent. But here we go. The real fight is beginning over near that natural expansion of herO. And here we go. herO is, you know, he's kind of having to go on the defensive side once again, as Deer is trying to put in a little bit of some aggression. Here we go. So those here we go. The force fields go in, but it looks like the surround is going to come in by herO, and it looks like herO is going to try to surround his opponent. He does exactly that. Beautiful play. Taking out that war prism is absolutely huge, and a lot of these units are going down, but it looks like herO still has a shot here at getting a lot of those units. Oh, but just those immortals are taking so many hits, and here come the adepts. The adepts are going to try to chase down the rest of this army. Oh, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go start target firing down those stalkers, and it looks like maybe one will survive for the time being. But at that point, I will have to say this. herO is in a position of power because he is now on his natural nexus. He's in the supply lead, and we still have Deer on one base. And I wonder if this is going to force Deer into an all-in here, because he is only on one base, and the longer this game goes, herO is going to be in such a good position as we pass that 9-minute mark. I don't know. It's going to be scary, as once again, herO's going to go on the aggression. He's going to go ahead and begin his flight down to that main base location of Deer with two immortals inside of that war prism. So, oh man, what an intense match. It's just been kind of back and forth, you know. It's been not necessarily really any overextensions as of yet, but it's just been, you know, been one of those ordeals where it's just really been good defense on both sides. Now, this observer, beautifully placed, finds that war prism, and it does look like the same can be said though, but a little bit too late at this point, as once again the target firing down of those pylons. Man, this is so annoying for Deer to have to deal with at this point. And it looks like herO is just gonna fly on out of there and is once again in a nice position, as that natural nexus is now going down for Deer, but his supply is just you know, just been completely shredded by herO, who is just playing, you know, absolutely incredible defense. He's even, you know, he's keeping such good tabs on the war prism of Deer, and now it looks like herO's starting to move out. I think he was smelling blood. He wants to go after probably that natural nexus at this point and just start, you know, kind of chipping away at it, as we are going to see this this war prism is going to force back all of those units, or at least some of the units, back for herO, as he finds out exactly what was in the war prism, which was only a couple of adepts. And so the main bulk though of his army is down near that natural nexus, and that natural nexus is just finishing up. But I just don't know There is a lot of units here. Oh my god. herO wants to end it right here and right now. Here we go. We are going to start seeing, of course, those force fields, but the beautiful force fields placed there at the ramp. Oh my god, these probes are going to get fried, and GG is called, and herO takes a commanding 2-0 lead over Deer. I hope you guys did enjoy this game between herO and Deer, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, stay positive, and I'll see you guys all in game number 3. Alrighty everyone, well, game number 3 in this best of 5 series that was played at the IEM Katowice finds us on New Repugnancy LE, spawning here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, playing with the blue Protoss pieces. He's currently down, but certainly not out of the series just yet. His name is Deer. And his opponent, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, playing with the red Protoss pieces. He's currently up in the series and wants to finish it off right here and right now. His name is herO. So, guys and girls, this game and this series in particular has been absolutely incredible so far, and I feel that it's going to continue right here. Now the question is herO going to be able to close this best of 5 series off right here and right now? And as I said, it was played at the IEM Katowice and was within the round of 8, which of course is the quarterfinals of that tournament. So should be interesting. I think the real storyline is based though around Deer, because the question is what is he going to do in order to actually just get on the scoreboard and try to turn the tide of the momentum that is definitely in favor of herO right now. Well, if we look early on in the game so far, we are going to see the double gateways followed up by that cybernetics core, and the exact same can be said for Deer. So very similar. You'll see identical production tabs, generally speaking, in the early stages of the game when it comes to the PvP matchup. And then as the game goes, a lot of times you will see kind of some differences, right? You'll start seeing a little bit of some change-ups in that production tab as the game goes on. But yeah, herO has been playing out of his mind, and I said this in the last game. You know, his really good defense translated to incredible offense, and so I have found, guys, with StarCraft 2, it really does feel like the defense wins championships, not just in traditional sports, but also in an esport like StarCraft 2. It really takes that amazing defense. If you're not trying to cheese the opponent or something, but it really, even if you're cheesing your opponent, if the person who's playing defense plays incredible defensively, a lot of times that will translate to that person obtaining victory. So, and we've seen that in the first couple of games here with herO. We have seen amazing defense, and you know, the defense really translates to awesome offense for him. And that probe does get taken out, and it does look like Deer's trying to be a little bit annoying, blocking off that the main base, but it does look like that gets canceled, at least at this point. Now, once again, we are seeing Deer getting a little bit aggressive, and I love this by Deer. I really do. He's getting a gateway out as well as the robotics facility on the opposite side of the map, and it looks like herO is going to be a little bit of a nuisance as well on the opposite side of the map. Now, obviously, I think herO realizes that something might be up once again, because both players, they are going for the warp gate research, which is the most standard for both players. But you know, he must be thinking that something is a little bit odd. He's got this probe that's just chilling here. We're gonna have to see if he decides to, you know, decide whatever he decides to do here in this game. But that said, this probe is gonna just flee to his death. But here we go. Oh my, beautiful scout here. The Phoenix does see exactly what's going on. The robotics facility is gonna have, of course, one of the Immortals coming out, followed up by an Observer. And this is going to be scouted, and here come the Adepts. The Adepts are going to start moving out towards this robotics facility over in the corner here. Absolutely beautiful scout there by herO. He's going to see exactly what is going on. And this is going to be shut down before it really even gets started. That Immortal is going to have to make his way all the way back across the map, and he does do exactly that. But I mean, this is what I'm talking about. herO, I mean, you really want to, you know, find all that scouting information. You want to see exactly, you know, what's going on at all times across the map, and herO is just so good at doing exactly that. He's very good at scouting, figuring out exactly what the opponent's doing, and he even supply blocked Deer once again for a period of time. We are going to see the Twilight Council coming in now for Deer, and just, you know, beautiful play. I mean, really. I mean, when you think about it, it's just absolutely brilliant play by herO so far. And it looks like Deer is going to start moving out with his army of Adepts, a Sentry, Immortal, and Stalkers. Now, at the same time, we are going to see some pickups on these probes, and they are just not defended at all. And, geez, one after the other is just going down. Beautiful play here, and we are going to see some of these Stalkers are going to get into a fight near that gateway. It looks like Deer wants to save this warp gate right now, and he's going to start moving in as that natural nexus has gone down. Blink is being researched right now. We are going to see a Void Ray coming in out of herO. I like that decision making, but it looks like these Phoenixes are going to try to start, you know, doing a little bit of some damage here, as the Adepts are going to try to get the surround, it looks like, on a lot of these units. But it looks like they are not going to fully commit as of yet. And the longer this goes, I think herO is going to be in such a nice position. Both of their natural nexuses are down, and it looks like Deer is going to be somewhat retreating back home, because there is really no defense at all back here. He's just getting probe after probe with these Phoenixes. These Phoenixes are just becoming a real nuisance for Deer to have to deal with at this point. As I said, that Blink is going to be researched here shortly. We are going to see the Forge coming in now, so those +1 upgrades are probably going to be started here shortly for herO. I love the position herO's in, just because he has been, you know, he's scouting very well. He's seeing exactly what's going on the opposite side of the map. He's getting probe after probe for his troubles with these Phoenixes. Those Phoenixes are absolutely a nuisance for Deer to have to deal with. So that said, though, I mean, herO's everywhere. I mean, he's all over the map with observers as well as those Phoenixes. And, you know, he's even got another, you know, group of these Adepts that are moving across the map as well. And once again, he's going into that main base. He's trying to just see if he can get any more, you know, free probe kills. And here come the Adepts. The Adepts look like they might try to get a little bit of some action, and they're going to surround. Oh, my God, the beautiful play there by herO, picking up that Immortal, which definitely helped there. I'm surprised he kind of backed off, but I believe it was more so just the play by Deer. He was kind of target firing down those Phoenixes, but that was a beautiful play there. Absolutely awesome by herO. Great idea. Didn't really execute very, you know, extremely well. But here we go. We're going to see a Void Ray now out in the mix of everything, and I like that. And it looks like, once again, I mean, just back and forth. This whole series, guys, has been a back and forth chess match between these two players, and I've absolutely loved it. We are going to see now the Twilight Council is going to be beginning here. It looks like, oh, nice pickup here by Deer. So Deer was able to get, you know, a couple of those Phoenixes, but nothing too crazy as of yet. And it does look like these Stalkers, as well as the Sentries, Immortal, are going to start moving out here. But this is going to be an interesting, you know, this is going to be tough, I think, for Deer to really move into. It's a toughie. It's really going to be tricky, I feel, for him to kind of move into this. And he split up his army a little bit. I don't know if I like this decision, but we're going to see a Warpin coming in now. It looks like Deer does want to get aggressive. Charges being researched right now for Deer. He has no Zealots, though, at the time being. We are going to see, you know, more Immortals for herO than Deer, but it looks like he is going to blink up. He is going to take out one of those pylons, but here we go. To pick up on a couple of those Stalkers, it does look like that Void Ray is going to start helping, but at the same time, I just wonder, there is a lot of these units that are just being absolutely decimated, and it looks like herO is going to continue this aggression, and Deer is being put into a really tough situation. Those sentries are going down. Here we go. The Warpin once again is going to be coming in, and he looks like he's going to surround. That is herO is surrounding, or trying to surround at this point. Is there an overextension by Deer? Those Stalkers are dropping by the second as those Immortals are just so bulky. Deer's supply is plummeting right now, and here we go. Absolutely brilliant defense once again by herO. You see how he shades behind Deer's army and just, you know, activates that, and those Adepts are just really helping to soften the army until those Immortals are there, and the Immortals are just doing so much damage. Now, we are going to see a third Nexus is started. I think the only way Deer's going to be able to get back into this is, yes, by getting that third Nexus up and kind of trying to keep herO at home, but I don't think he's going to stay at home. It looks like he's going to start moving out across the map as we are approaching that 10-minute mark. Resonating Glaive is going to be finishing up in less than 9 seconds for herO, and it looks like he is going to, you know, he's going to try to do the killing blow here. And because he's got a lot, you know, obviously a nice sized army. He's got those Immortals. He's got the Eye in the Sky with the Void Ray. Here we go. And these probes are now, they are mining very far, and here come all those Adepts. Oh my god, they are going to once again shade in and try to split up this army, and here we go. It does look like once again all of these units are just going to try to do as much damage as possible. They are going to try, those Stalkers did get that War Prism, but all of these units are just doing so much damage. GG is called, and herO wins this series 3-0 and moves on to the semifinals of the IEM in Katowice. I hope you guys did enjoy this game and this series between herO and Deer, and if you guys did, leave a thumbs up, subscribe for new, stay positive, and as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.